Good afternoon, everyone. Well, especially those in APAC, and welcome to today's webinar. And today we're going to be talking about how AI is transforming stock exchanges. And so today we're very thrilled to have with us for this conversation a couple of very exceptional experts. We'd like to share with you today about how artificial intelligence is reshaping the capital markets, the future of capital markets, and how exchanges operate. My name is Kelvin, and I will be your moderator today. I'm the General Manager for Asia Pacific at Bridgewise, where I lead our efforts to support the financial institutions in the region to grow their investment business with innovative AI solutions. So as I mentioned, today I have the pleasure of an exceptional panel of experts who bring with them their unique perspectives on how AI is reshaping the financial markets worldwide. And I'd like to take this moment to allow them to introduce themselves a little bit. So first, I'd like to introduce Fumihiko Imamura-san from the Japan Exchange Group. And so Fumi-san, if you may take a few minutes to introduce yourself.
Hi, hello. It's a pleasure to join this webinar, and I'm Fumihiko Imamura from Japan Exchange Group. And currently, technically speaking, I belong to Japan JPX Market Innovation and Research, which is one of the subsidiaries of Japan Exchange Group. And we are essentially the data and digital arm for JPX Group. Thank you.
Welcome. And next, we also have Kun Chachai Sintop from the Stock Exchange of Thailand. So Kun Chachai, if you could introduce yourself a little bit as well to everyone.
Hi, I'm Chachai from Stock Exchange of Thailand, or SET. I'm from the IT Development Group. My responsibilities cover from trading, clearing CSD, and another part is the AI adoption. Yeah, that's for me.
Great. Thank you very much, Kun Chachai. And last but certainly not least, we also have Nitsan Nachum, Chief Revenue Officer at Bridgewise. And Nitsan, if you could introduce yourself a little bit, please.
Thank you, Kelvin. So as you mentioned, I'm a Bridgewise Chief Revenue Officer. It's our pleasure to discuss a very interesting discussion about the exchanges and how they are now shaping the world in the AI era. We have here two of our greatest partners and look forward to share some more.
Great. Thank you very much, Nitsan. So as I mentioned earlier, today we're going to explore, pretty much take everyone on a journey, in terms of the transformation. We're going to focus on three key moments in the transformation: the past, the present, and the future of AI being in action in the world of stock exchange. So let's start with the first part, talking a little bit about the past to set some context. And I'd like to start first with Fumi-san from JPX. I understand you do have a vast experience in the Japanese stock exchanges. And, you've seen pretty much that transition from, in the past where there was a lot more manual work, manual trading, and today how things are moving like really quickly. So I'm really keen to hear from your perspective, what has been the main pain points that all these changes have brought to stock exchanges in those that you have seen and worked with. And how do you think AI can be a part of a solution for these pain points?
Yeah, absolutely. Like 10 years ago, when I talked with the traders, there are some people who physically looking at the order book and putting their orders on their keyboards, and they could follow the market. And that was what it used to be in the past. But nowadays, for example, this year we prepare something called the timestamp data. This is specifically used by those very latency sensitive traders, and that timestamps comes with nanosecond level information. So that's the reality now. And so having faster market and more orders is essentially we are facing more data and information. At the same moment, which is specifically important in Japan, is we are seeing the downward trend in workforce. So we have to deal with more information with less human resources. So we have to have something. And as to that pain point, AI can be very effective solution. By adapting AI, we can essentially screen out or summarize information so that people can deal with the flow of information going through the market, which is a lot. However, I'd like to point out handing everything to AI is, of course, that's too risky. So we have to have interaction or intervention by human when we utilize AI. Let me stop here.
Okay, so certainly I think I'm amazed, like nanosecond level information. So that certainly bumps up a lot of data and but it's an interesting point you make that human judgment is still quite important in the whole overall process as well. And I guess I think we can all agree that one of the central goals for stock exchange is to keep the local investors engaged, getting them involved and participating in the local market. So I'd like to turn a moment to Kun Chachai. And before this recent wave of AI disruption, how did the Stock Exchange of Thailand think about applying AI to issues like market integrity or enhancing investor confidence in the local Thai market? Kun Chachai?
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, our Thai capital market start having millions of transactions since 2013. Around that, some HFT is coming, and we start using the AI actually in 2018, 7 years ago. But at that period, it's kind of predictive AI. We use in the market surveillance. We use AI and machine learning model to trace all the transactions, millions transactions per day, to detect misbehavior of all the orders that coming to the exchange. That's the first that we adopt AI before the coming of the Gen AI. And one year later, in 2019, we start using AI in terms of customer segmentation. We utilize the AI to segment the investor, and we can give the proper insight or proper information feed to the right content to the investor. That's what we use in the past before we enter to the world of the Gen AI a couple years ago. And one more thing, when we see, we can see many changes. I think a couple months ago, you can see for example, Google Finance beta. There's a lot of interesting things and so many content that the retail or consumer cannot access before. That's something we see. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for that, Kun Chachai. It's like it's very interesting and impressive to to hear that you're thinking about creating relevant content and trying to engage with the investor public at large in Thailand and kind of bring them into the participation of the market. And so I at this point I'd like to turn a little bit to Nitsan. So as the CRO here in Bridgewise, and you've just heard how Fumi-san described the Japan's sort of structural challenges around having a lot more data, complex processes, and having to face with less human resources as well, and Kun Chachai's point about accessibility and inclusivity. What would be your thoughts on those talking points, Nitsan?
Thank you. So yeah, I think these are exactly the reasons that Bridgewise came to the world. We see that worldwide there is not only complexity of data, but there is a big demand for it. Okay, there is the obvious demand, by institutional clients, but also, and we keep on increasing since COVID, but not only then, there is a big demand from the retail investors worldwide, where people want to participate in the capital markets. They want to invest in stocks or funds or bonds or whichever asset that they wish to have. And there is a lot of data, but there is no intelligence, meaning there is a big of a complexity to understand what is going on actually in the market. And this is one of the missions that Bridgewise wants to tackle. We want to provide access to every financial asset that is tradable, okay, everywhere in the world, okay, and in a very easy to understand way. The way to do it is obviously technology, and most specifically AI, which is our topic here today. By analyzing all the fundamental data that is out there or some other more alternative data, we're giving retail investors worldwide, including in Thailand and in Japan, but not only. As some of you know, we're serving currently more than 40 million users worldwide, east to west. We give them in a very easy to understand way, in their mother tongue, ability to have any information about any asset in the world. In that way, we tackle two of the obstacles that my great colleagues here mentioned. First of all, the fact that there is a lot of data, but there is a lack of enough working hands, of humans that can analyze it. So analysts are doing an amazing job, but the AI can enable them to push it and increase their workload, so they'll be able to cover, again, using AI, every asset out there. That's A. B, the AI has the capability of generating it in any language that is desirable. If I may give a very great example is our partnership with JPX, the Japanese exchange and group, where you'll be able to find a Market Explorer, which is a kind of a joint activity, where you'll be able there as a retail investor, it doesn't matter if you're located in Turkey or in Brazil, to find in your mother tongue any information or other relevant information about assets that you want to invest in the Japanese market. And that's a big revolution that obviously only AI has the capability of doing so. And we see that these kind of solutions are matching the demand that is out there in the market.
Yeah, thanks for that, Nitsan. And I can only echo what you just shared in terms of, I think that the when we meet the people in the markets, I think it's very common that we hear this. Like, there is a lot of data available out there. I think the challenge is, how do we help people make sense of it, and how do we generate the insights? So, I think that having set that context about the past and the journey here, I'd like to move on now to kind of more the present. And for that, perhaps I'll turn first to Kun Chachai. And, I heard earlier that SET's journey in AI started back in like 2018. And so, I'd really love to hear from you now in terms of how has the SET currently, been using AI to enhance aspects of market accessibility or attracting more listings and investor participation? So, Kun Chachai, if you could share a little bit more about that.
Yes, thank you for the question. In terms of AI in the recent year, we focus on the generative AI. It helped many aspects, especially on the language, human language. So the first, we improve in the market accessibility. In general, we have an event named Opportunity Day that allows a listed company to come and show the performance and our insight in the video, and we publish to the public investor. The AI comes to the transcription of the video into the text, and also a summarization. As I see, about 700 plus video already transcribed by the AI. The text are going to help people to much more better in data processing and or even getting more insight than just video as before. That's the first one to help the accessibilities. And the second one is to help the language barrier. Most Thai people prefer Thai language. And we use the language translation in our annual report reporting system. Once the listed company put the Thai language in the system, the AI help auto-translate into the English. And this help access for the foreign investor so that they frequent more with the English language. And for the statistic, we can see after we first launched in the first month, it translates about 200 listed company of their annual report. That's the second one for the language. And the third one is kind of the internal service. We collaboration with Google Cloud. We create the platform, AI platform, kind of internal LLM that cover all the listed company information, all the fundamentals, as well as the regulatory policy. So that AI can help a lot in make people easier to get into the policy or regulation in summary. Especially for Thai, we have I think more than 1,000 documents that cover all the policies that AI can help in this area. And I hope this platform can help much more intelligent in the access and summarize all the policy or even the fundamental of the listed company information. And that's the third one. And the last one, or before last, we have set up about 2 years ago. We put the supervisory with the AI. Any day that there's a news incoming into the exchange, we use the AI to read. It takes about, we have about 50,000 documents per year that read with AI in real time to help extract information and allows our supervisory to detect if something wrong that they can take action immediately. The last one, it helps in terms of the IT. We use AI in the coding, in the software development. We just have a pilot project. It's the Gold Benchmark Prize that collects national gold price discovery and summarize 2 rounds in a day. We utilize 100% on the UI part, coding by the AI. That's our first try. That's something like we did today. Thank you.
Wow, it's very, very exciting indeed. There's a lot of seems there's a lot of activities around, and I think in particular, what resonates with me is this. I think we all see the need for language because people always like to read about things or listen to things in their own language, and like you explained in Thai, or even for foreign investors, being able to present those information in English. I think certainly is very interesting how you're working so hard to rebuild the investor confidence in the market and attract more participation, and of course to keep the market fair and transparent with all your regulatory projects and supervisory projects, I guess. So I think that's a great segue to turn to Nitsan a little bit. I mean, globally, we work with several leading exchanges, and so perhaps it's a good time to hear your perspective in terms of how you see AI help exchanges both strengthen trust and enhance transparency. Of course, we always want to try and attract more global and local investors, or maybe even unlock new revenue opportunities through data. So perhaps if you could share a little bit about that perspective, Nitan.
Definitely. Thank you. So first of all, it really aligns with what Khun Chachai just mentioned. And as you mentioned, we're working with many exchanges worldwide. Some of them are even our Bridgewise investors. And the reason is that Bridgewise and exchanges, the group and the stock exchanges share the same values and mission. And the missions are that we want more people to participate in the capital markets, okay? Regardless of their origin or regardless of their financial literacy or even language literacy. That's A. And we want to connect them to every company out there or every asset that is available of trading. And this was the way that we've shaped our solutions, okay? Now, with exchanges worldwide, in order to tackle and to accomplish these missions, first of all, our AI capabilities that are laying on two big foundations, which is, first of all, the scale, meaning the ability to cover all these assets, okay? And secondly, the language, create a great result of meeting all the demands out there. And if I'll give an example that is very relevant to Kuncha Chai, we're operating in Thailand in the past few years, and we know that in Thailand, the local investors, their top traded asset is funds, and even more accurate, is local funds, okay? And what we've done is that we've collaborated with the local exchange. We took the data, working again very closely with the regulator and with the compliance team, took the data on the local funds. We gave it to our AI team that inputted into the machine, and then the machine learned it and created a very comprehensive analysis of more than 800 local funds. The same, by the way, goes to Japan and many countries in APAC, but also worldwide. And again, this ability to analyze it in the local language, which in this example is Thai or Japanese, helps to push more local investors to trade. But it also goes the other way around. And as I mentioned, what we're doing with exchanges, I've mentioned the Japanese exchange, but not only. Let's give an example, the Brazilian exchange, okay? Where there you'll be able to find about all the assets that are traded there, from bonds to funds to stocks, and very soon some other more. You have the ability to read it in Japanese, okay? If you're Japanese investors who wish to invest in the Brazilian market. So that's A. B, obviously, and as Kuncha Chai mentioned, it must be regulatory compliant. So in every region, as a trusted and responsible AI firm, we're always working very closely with the regulator to see that all the data that is out there will match the regulatory needs, not only because of compliance issues, because eventually, as our mission is to have more investors joining the capital markets, we want to make sure that they're given 100% accurate data, okay, without any hallucinations, without any problems that we know that AI is still facing. And that is why working with the regulator is a very important milestone that we're having when we're developing new products. Last but not least, this is more on the corporate side, less on, the retail investor side. We know that exchanges worldwide, the revenues that they're generating from data monetization is keep on increasing. A study that we've made a year ago found that 60% globally and averagely of exchanges revenues are being generated from data monetization, okay? And I believe the great gentleman here will understand what I'm speaking about, selling to institutional clients, selling to local brokers, or even foreign brokers. The data about what's happening in your exchange. And what we're doing in Bridgewise, also with some of the exchanges that I've mentioned, is that we're partnering with them hand in hand, co-selling data solutions to institutional clients in order, again, to fulfill the mission that I mentioned earlier. With the usability of this data, retail investors feel much more comfortable to join to the capital markets. So I hope it addresses the question.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for that, Neat-san. And circling back to Fumi-san, I really love to hear your thoughts also about how AI is being applied at JPX, in general, and how do you see that happening today?
Yes. as Nid-san shared and Chacha also touched in his comments, the exchange businesses are the place where the highest standard of responsibility and accountability is required. So we put this at the very basis of our AI usage. However, that doesn't mean we don't adopt AI, because we see not adapting AI is more riskier than adopting AI. So we use AI in pretty much the wide area of the daily business as usual, and as you can see in wider commercial area. For example, translation is one of the most frequently used use case, I believe, and the contract investigation would be something I personally use when I sell data and ask our clients to sign the contract. And then, for example, the exchange specific kind of role or activity I would like to share, we are using AI for the market monitoring. But if there is we used to do this by human, like manually looking at order books, and you see there is like not looks like any unnatural or abnormal order getting into the market, and then we would physically call to the brokerage firms and make sure isn't this the sort of fat finger or something like that. Nowadays, we can react in a more rapid way with less effort by utilizing the latest technologies. Yes, and also the software development. The data business is something about the software, of course. We have engineering resources, and the engineers are, well, not the sort of people we can find anywhere. So we treat them, their resources are scarce. So that is one of the areas we most aggressively trying to embrace AI technologies.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I think that's that I think seems to be a very common theme, and it's really something that resonates across the region as well. So I just like to, I guess it's now the time to move to the most interesting part. I think, the future. Where do you think AI will take us next? And for this, I like to stay with Fumi-san first. And we all. I think everyone would agree, Japan has always been a leader in technology. That's something that we all come to know, and especially nowadays in AI as well. And so I have kind of two questions for you. You mentioned earlier that there is obviously a decreasing workforce, and I think this is also something we see across the region in many of the markets. So first question is, I guess, do you see AI as a replacement for people, or more as a synergy between humans and AI, that kind of scenario? And perhaps if you could look 5 years down the road, 5 years ahead, what do you think will be your perspective in terms of the new, quote unquote, new standard for exchanges with AI? So over to you, Fumi-san.
Yes, thank you. So same here, like accountability and responsibility, that wouldn't change in the future. And I don't expect, at least at this point of time, AI can be responsible when in a lawsuit, for example, he's to blame for this. That doesn't make sense at all in the real world. So AI agent would be, and which works under direction of human, would be the realistic approach, and that's something I suppose everyone is working on right now. And then they're going back to the market monitoring example. We don't rely on the single AI application, but rather mixing the multiple AI agent and make sure whether all AI agents agree on the same conclusion, or some are not in line with that. That sort of brings up the heads up to human who directs and who ultimately get responsible for that specific topics. So when I imagine like what is going to be in five year in the future, well, I would yes, suppose more presence by AI agent, but still with more sophisticated direction by AI, which is what we call the human in the loop system, what we apply, and then that is going to evolve as people accumulate the experience of working with AI agent.
Great. Thank you very much. Certainly, I think that's also what I do observe in general. Like there is going to always be a mix of the two, and it's interesting that you talk about multiple AI agents to kind of do that monitoring, and there needs to be a bit of an agreement between all of them. So thank you for that. And turning back again to Kun Chachai, then and looking ahead into the future, how is the SET planning to implement AI? I think you mentioned there are several projects that might be in progress, or how would you envision the exchange using AI across its different operations?
Yes. Before the answer, I would like to stress and agree with Fumi-san on the exchange responsibility to keep trust and confidence. And any AI that we gonna use require at least human intervention or human supervision, especially the things that are facing to the public need to be controlled, because it might answer on behalf of the exchange, and we need to take responsibilities. Okay, going back to the answer, for future, for SET, our strategic roadmap for next 3 years, we focus on fair and inclusive growth. We need to make sure that the investor or investor type are accessible, have a resilient market, and everything that we do is beneficial to all stakeholders. That's our strategic roadmap. So the things that we think about it, we plan to doing the upgrade in the surveillance part. We gonna upgrade on the predictive model that analyze transactions that before that some computing or algorithm might not be good compared to today. I think today the technology is ready, so it's good time for upgrade. And another thing is we can combine with the agentic model. We can separate tasks to the agents, and one agent might be the old predictive model. Another one, we can gather some information like news from the internet, or even the news or another content that relate to the case, and combine together using the agentic model ideas. And a second one is we are NASDAQ customer, but another thing is we have a partnership with them to deploy AI-driven risk management and also the market surveillance technology to the members that allows to improve the overall market integrity, not just only the exchange, but include the members. And the third one, we think about the equality access to the data. Today, that when the listed company publish information like a financial statement, it requires a couple of days to finish and put into the right taxonomy and allow the investor to access and make the data more benefit to them. We think about using the AI to extract the financial statement Excel and mapping to the taxonomy to the right one, and publish earlier than before. So no matter you have more money or less money, you should have access equally to the data from the exchange, that what we thought that AI should help in equality. And the last one, thank you for our people development team. They arranged the hackathon in the exchange. So our staff joined that. And we have another new and good idea. We can use AI in improve the financial literacy. We can create a short video and help engage the investor to understand more in the capital market concept. It's a lot easier to use the AI to create a video. We can do a short video and attract the newcomer or even the kids or even the senior people. Easier access to the capital market using the video clip that AI helped create on it. That's what we thought we're going to do in the future. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for that, Kun Chachai. And I think the topics that you touch on in terms of being inclusive, being engaging and creating that equality is also, on a personal level, something very important to me as well in terms of how we level the playing field for everybody. And so I guess I will turn now to Nitsan. We have heard from Fumi-san and Kun Chachai about, talking about equality, talking about being responsible and having all those elements in place. From a global perspective, I guess, what do you think would be the new standard for exchange or exchanges in the coming years, from a global Bridgewise perspective?
So thank you. So I think the word that you chose, global, is the right way to describe the future, because I think we believe and we do live in a global world. Okay, like it's getting everywhere. It's very accessible, and even ordering things through eBay, Amazon, or Alibaba. But I think that in relation to capital markets, we still see that there is a lot of interest in local, markets, stock funds, whatever. But also the second market, or in some countries it's the first one, would be the US one. But still we see that there is not a massive investment, from one country to the other. Like you wouldn't see a lot of, let's say, Austrian people who are investing in the Thai market. But it should be, because eventually we were all looking for profits. Okay, and it's the same percentage mathematics if it's in Thailand or in Austria or whichever place in the world. And I think that AI, and as we've mentioned, through the two great capabilities that AI have. The first one is obviously scale, but second thing is the language capabilities will help to, if exchanges will adopt it worldwide, as we start seeing this movement in recent years, will make every exchange a global one. Okay, that's A. B, it will enable people to find the hidden gems, okay, the ones that can be a massive growth investments, okay, but no one has the ability to know about these options before using AI, because as Fumi-san mentioned, the human work capabilities that are obviously limited. So having every broker, every exchange, every institutional client and a retail client using AI capabilities will make it a real global world where everyone can trade everywhere.
Yeah, I think that certainly is a good picture of the future. Having that ability for everyone to have that access and that leveling that playing field, as I mentioned earlier. But I think that this has been a fantastic discussion so far. Certainly, thank you, gentlemen, for your insights and perspectives. I have personally learned a lot. And I'd like to kind of switch gears a little bit now and move on to a section of questions and answers. So for everyone that's on the webinar now, I would invite you to, pop in your questions on the chat, and that will be kind of surface all over to us, and we can get our panelists to touch on some of these questions. I think a couple of them have already come through. And so maybe if I may just start first with a question that possibly would be for Fumi-san. I think one of the questions is that how is the JPX balancing innovation with regulation as AI become more common? I think this is a very interesting question because, as always, with many of the fintechs and all the innovations that's happening today, very often a comment is regulation is not always keeping up with the speed of innovation. But obviously, this is something that all of us are trying to improve on. But it'll be interesting to hear from you, Fumi-san. How does JPX look at this?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, AI is one of the technologies, meaning there have been other technologies in the past through the history of the exchange businesses and human history. So let's say Excel, like macro, VBA, they are, I would say, close example to AI in terms of processing data and showing the people what are the logically at least the best option to make. So here, from the regulation exchange operating point of view, our approach is essentially the same, facing the new technologies. And the impact of AI is quite significant, so that people oftentimes takes AI as something very different from existing technologies or technologies which emerged in the past. But however, I don't quite see something really special regarding AI. And as new technologies comes out to the society and in the world, we certainly make the effort to involve and embrace them into our system.
Great, thank you for that. I have another question here, and I think maybe this is something that caught my attention earlier as well, as Kun Chachai was sharing about the future. So I think this question perhaps is something that we'd love to hear your perspective. And the question is, do you think that AI can help bring younger investors into the capital markets? I think that, today that's also one of the things that is commonly touched upon. How do we interest and attract the younger investors, the newer investors into the capital markets? And so I would love to hear your perspective. How do you think AI can bring these younger investors into the capital markets? Kun Chachai?
Yes, thank you. It's something that we're looking for, like I said before. I think the recent generative AI capabilities, it can create the short video clips easily. So with a single prompt and with one photo, you can type or put something that you want and let the AI take about a couple of minutes and create a short video clips that attract the audience. But I think the younger generation, I think they cannot tolerate to read 10 or 15 minutes, and something should be short and close to their daily routine, like short video clips, and using a cartoon or good animations together with financial literacy. I think it would help to give them the ideas how to save and how to manage the money.
Yeah, I think that's certainly a very interesting point. I think these days the short form video is very, very popular. I think a lot of people do get information from that means as well. And actually, you touch upon financial literacy, which is kind of one of the questions that we did pick up here as well. And maybe this one for Nitsan, if you will, what do you think is the role that AI will play in terms of financial education, or perhaps as Kun Chachai say, financial literacy? Nitsan?
Definitely. So I think obviously it is already a great tool for financial literacy. Because as we know, people, and I think all of us can admit that we're also part of this trend, they spend a lot of time using videos and stuff, but still, and I think this is the big revolution that AI has been made, not, beside Bridgewise, like even take OpenAI and ChatGPT. Most of the output is a very long, detailed text. And when you're asking the right questions, you have the patience to read it. And the same goes with AI in the capital markets. Okay, this vertical AI that Bridgewise is a part of it. People are looking for specific questions. Okay, it can be about my portfolio. It can be about things that I don't know as a retail investors because I haven't studied, accounting or economics. And I want to understand that if the earning per share of this stock is 0.4, for example, what does it mean? It's a good sign, it's a bad sign, and this is the way to get people access to better financial literacy, okay, to better financial education. That being said, I think even for more sophisticated, let's say, participants or users, we see that now this vertical AI of capital markets, and among them is Bridgewise, is also being practiced and used in universities, in colleges, as part of the work that and the lessons that are being made, because people understand that there is a lot to learn when using vertical AI in the capital markets, in the financial world.
Mm. Yeah, thank you for that. I think that's absolutely true. The possibilities are certainly there, and I think it's about how we can be clever about tapping into it. I do have another question now in the chat, and this I think is particularly interesting. I would say this is probably for Kun Chachai and Fumi-san. And the question is, how can smaller or emerging exchanges start their AI journey effectively? I think this is this is going to be an interesting one. So who would like to go first? Perhaps Fumi-san, if I could. Oh, maybe Kun Chachan. Yes, please.
Fumi-san first. Okay.
Okay, Fumi-san first.
Yeah. Right. Well, let me rephrase into what if I start a new exchange. I mean, I don't think that all exchanges are important. We don't talk like small or emerging. That's not a essential part. So here, so coming back to the AI and human combination, human in the loop, I have to admit, we used to, we are running this business for many years and heavily they relied on human resources and manual works. So the pivoting from human-centric, the operational model into the AI-centric operation model requires a certain amount of restructuring, which is not easy for many companies, for many enterprises, not only limited to exchanges. And how, I mean, some so, well, so here, if I start something from scratch, I would think about the best combination of AI and then human. And I can think about applying AI to any kind of activities, unless that is the ultimate responsibility again goes to human. But that's pretty much everything. Then one thing I'd like to stress is I might think about the cost of reskilling. The reskilling is one of the hot topics in Japan and other part of the world, I suppose. So in the reskilling processes, there has first the unlearning should happen. I mean, they have to understand the existing way is not the optimal one, so that they in other words forget the way they have been doing and acquire new skills and the way they operate. And but not having existing model, the cost of reskilling would be smaller, and which is something a new exchange or new AI journey can make the most.
Yes, I think the human reskilling piece is certainly very, very important. And as you say, many countries today are also speaking about that. How do you reskill and upskill your workforce to be ready for for the AI changes that will come? Kun Chai, if I may get your opinion on this question in terms of how can an emerging exchange start their AI journey effectively?
Yes, I think not the exchange, but for any companies. At first, we can focus on the increased efficiency or operations within the organization. We can see the parts that AI can help, especially Gen AI. They can read the documents. They can summarize the document. For example, if you have the system that you take the address and check if it the update one or the same one, AI can help, right? Because it's easy to identify if it having more space or less space. AI can help the same as using the people's eye. This is the example. I don't think AI can replace the people, but AI gonna assist people and help better efficiency for the exchange. And it happened, I think the same, not only Japan, but also in Thailand. We are coming to the aging society, and the newborn kids keep less and less, and the people here need to do on the effective way to operate the exchange. I would like to focus and stress on the people development, like Fumi-san mentioned. It's gonna be much better or having more efficiency 2 or 3 times what I see if they use the AI together with the daily work. But they need to know how to prompt, how to write the prompt to get the expectation, and how to validate the outcome of the AI before take it to the action. That's quite good to focus on the people reskill on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Kun Chai. I think it's very clear and thank you both for sharing all your perspectives and insights. It's clear to me that we all agree that AI is not about replacing humans, but we need to learn to be able to use it more effectively, how it changes the way we can be more productive. And of course, it will probably change the way we operate, not just at an exchange level, but even in our day-to-day lives. And it's also exciting to see how it's now redefining the way markets connect, how it grows, how we can make it more inclusive for everyone, investors globally, or even in the way we work every day. So, I like to, on that note, I like to thank again all our speakers, our panelists today for their insights and their perspectives. Thank you again, Fumi Hiko-san from the Japan Exchange Group, Kun Chai from the Stock Exchange of Thailand, and our very own Nitsan Nachum. And so thank you very much again, everyone, for taking the time. And I wish you a pleasant rest of the day and the rest of the week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.